All right, Robert. The faith that you have in this Oklahoma State team to win at least one game in this NCAA tournament is more than, the same than, or less than the amount of faith in you had them winning as many in last year's tournament?
Ooh, actually a little more than, but I think it has more to do with the opponent than it does Oklahoma State. Last year it was Gonzaga. I didn't have a good feeling about that one, but Oregon, I think these two teams are pretty close. I really do.
Well, I'm kind of the ilk, and I don't know if we've talked about this or not, Robert. Ever since I moved to the mornings, we haven't talked near as much on air, but I mean, this team, I talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show, is addition by subtraction, right? I mean, you got Anthony Hickey, which obviously has been a huge help, but you got that and you subtracted two NBA players, and you've got, at the worst, the same team. How is that?
Well, I think it explains a little bit about the chemistry of last year versus the chemistry of this year. I think the chemistry this year is better. I think the overall talent's not as good. But as most coaches in college basketball will tell you, you can have all the talent in the world, and if they don't get along and don't play the way you need them to play, you're not going to be any better than you would with an average team that loves each other. So that's the way I would explain it. And last year, that was about as dysfunctional a basketball season as you could ever have.
I never heard you saying this last year.
Oh, gosh. I said this the entire time. It was dysfunctional.
I don't know if I buy that, Robert. Come on now.
Oh, the Marcus Smart escapades and behind the scenes, I mean, everybody put on a good face in front of the media, but behind the scenes, there was a lot of animosity.
Well, give me a story. Give me a story about that. Give me a story about last year that not many know, that you know. Come on, spill one.
Oh gosh, I mean, I think a lot of people, if they don't, know it, they sure sensed it. The situation in Lubbock at Texas Tech, there were a number of players when Marcus got suspended by the Big 12 that they were excited to see how this team would play without it. And if you remember, they actually played pretty good. They didn't win games, but they were in games against some really good teams that they played in that stretch. There's no doubt that Markel Brown was not as boisterous a guy, but a lot of players on the team wished Markel would have seized more control as a player leader. That just wasn't in his DNA. So that's some of the dichotomy that was working. And you know what? LeBron Nash was, I think LeBron I think he was just trying to get through it all. I don't think he felt necessarily appreciated by Marcus and the team, and he was kind of a bit player, and a bit player is not what he wanted to be.
And probably shouldn't have been.
No, probably shouldn't have been. But no, there was a lot going on, and I think Travis Ford would even tell you that he probably gave in too much to Marcus Smart. But let's remember, there were a lot of people that celebrated when Marcus said he was going to come back for one more year, and I think a lot of campaigning had to be done in order to get him to do that. So when you campaign and you make promises and sometimes you get caught going too far, and I thought that program got caught going too far to keep Marcus Smart for another year.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to make it all about last year either. It's just it speaks to how well this team has been put together this year, even in spite of losing 6 of their last 7. What gives you the faith that they can pull one off besides the opponent? What gives you faith that they can pull 1 or 2 off here in this NCAA tournament?
Well, they can't pull 2 off. Okay, let's drop the 2 right now.
All right.
Because
so they can beat Oregon then because
they can beat Oregon because Oregon is just as prone as they are to having an off night. And Oregon has got some they've got 5 freshmen that are very influential to what they do. And I know the common phrase is at this time freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. Well, the first time they're in the NCAA tournament, they are. They've never been in this. And they've never gone to an NCAA tournament site, done the press conference thing and the public workout and seen the bright lights. And the NCAA tournament is different. When you get there, it is different. You feel it's the difference for a football team between a regular season game, even a big-time regular season game, and going to a bowl game, especially a big bowl. The NCAA is a whole different feel to it, and those freshmen from Oregon probably are going to feel that. The other thing that I wish for Oklahoma State, and again, this is now just this is just dropping pennies in a wishing well. If either Forte or Hickey, either one, were 6'1" or 6'2" instead of 5'10", this team would have had a much greater chance. That's where people have really been able to get them, is smothering the guards defensively with bigger guards. Unfortunately, Oregon has bigger guards. Now, they're not a very good defensive team. If Dana Altman can get them to play defense, it'll be a tough night for OSU. But if they play the kind of defense they played all year long in the Pac-12, Forte is going to find some open shots again. And I'd like to see if he can hit them if he can.
We had Travis on a couple of mornings ago, and he threw out, he was great. He was great and very comfortable, and it was which was kind of weird. I mean, usually he's comfortable. He's usually a pretty good interview, but it was surprisingly comfortable based on how well they had played. Maybe how or lack thereof over the last couple of weeks, and maybe that's because he made it in the tournament, and maybe it was a weight off his shoulders. But he kind of just threw out there nonchalantly that Phil Forte was 70 to 75%. And why is that? Like, is this all illness, or is there something else? What's going on here?
I'm trying to figure it out. The only thing I can figure is it's got to be some sort of hamstring or ankle, even a shoulder or wrist that you can hide, and it doesn't necessarily show up when you watch him play, but it's something that's bothering him. If that's true, that makes a lot of sense, because we've seen him come off the flu, which he did, in February. We've seen him go through the next couple of weeks where you figure, okay, he played through the flu, so he probably, the gas tank emptied out. He's got to fill it up again. They had that 1 week where they had a week off between games, and he still didn't come out of it. So this would explain this and the defensive attention that he gets, which in the Big 12, you could see it in games.
Sure.
Teams picked him up in the backcourt and said, we're not going to let you, we're not even going to let you have that downtown shot that you make all the time. I mean, because his range is incredible. So teams took that range away from him. But this explains it, because he still has had some open looks. And you know what his shooting percentage has been, total shooting percentage the last 5 games?
Yeah, it can't be good. I mean,
25%, and he's a shooter. So there's something wrong there. So that would kind of explain it somewhat. And as far as Travis, I agree with you. I think he's been one of the most successful coaches in the country. I think he's been over backwards. I think it's been great. I hope he continues to do this. If they were to go on a run and make the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, which I don't think could happen, but if they were, he'd become the toast of Stillwater. And a lot of the nagging and a lot of the backbiting toward him would disappear. I would hope that he would continue to be the most successful coach in college basketball. That's the thing. Let's be honest. Travis is a little bit under the gun, and OSU fans are trying to make up their mind on him. Some already have on the wrong side. And so Travis is trying to sway some things, and he's doing it pretty well through the media. But I hope he always stays this way, because like you said, he is comfortable. He's a good interview. The only thing I would change with him is he has the ability to make TCU sound like they're in the Final Four, and I'd like to see him get a little more honest about how he assesses the opponent.
Well, he did that with Oregon too. He absolutely did it with Oregon. But I guess, I guess that's what you got to do sometimes. But yeah, I get it. I'm with you though. I wish it was a little more honest. But when he sprinkles you with all of that goodness, all of that, hey, I'm happy to be here, then we kind of gloss over like, Oregon is awesome. Like, no, tell us the real thing. We get mesmerized sometimes. But anyway, you got football nuggets.
He has been good.
You got football nuggets. You've been in Dallas. What's up? Give me nuggets.
The cool thing is, again, people know I'm into the recruiting and covering it and have been for a long time. This year, Nike is only doing for the opening that big event next summer where they invite the best high school players. They're only doing one regional in Texas. It was in Dallas last Sunday. They're not having one in Houston. So they had over 600 kids. And you know what? Most of them, I think, will play Division I college football. It was an amazing. I wrote this in a story on it. If college coaches were allowed to attend that, there would have been fistfights breaking out in the stands as to who was going to talk to who first. Over 100 defensive backs. The Nike coaches that were there said it was the best defensive back group they've ever seen. I think there were probably 10 to 15 that both Oklahoma State and Oklahoma had offered. The quarterbacks, Trent Dilfer and the Elite 11 people were there, and they gave out one invitation, said it was as good a group as they'd ever seen. But here's the amazing guy, and I know I've said this on a couple of different shows here on the franchise. There was a kid from Killeen, Texas, named Kendall Jones. He's 6'4.5", 350 pounds.
Whoa.
He's a defensive tackle. He ran under 5 flat in the 40, like a 4.98, and that's electronic.
Yeah.
And I watched his shuttle, was great. And then I watched him in drills. And I've never said this, Zach, ever, because I have too much respect for the NFL. I think you really have to be an unbelievable athlete to be an NFL football player. Your position, obviously. And if this kid had the mental maturity, of being grown up enough to take care of himself and compete against grown men, not college athletes, but grown men, physically, he could go to the NFL right now. And I've never said that about a high school kid, but he could. I mean, it was amazing. And afterwards, the head coach of the camp, and this kid was the MVP, he told all these other kids, and these kids are talented. And he said, by the way, guys, Kendall's going to stick around a little bit here after the camp and sign autographs. And if I were you, I'd get one.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty
Kendall
cool.
Jones. All right. I'm circling him. Kendall Jones,
yeah.
D tackle.
Hey, Google him and see what you think he looks like.
I'm in basketball mode right now, Robert. All right? I mean,
okay.
I'll wait till Monday, and then I will.
Google him in a couple of weeks when the Final Four is over.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you. We'll see you.
All right, Zach.